Alrighty guys, we have our new fuel line that's going to get installed into the Freightliner Cascadia right there with the DD15. Really quick, just want to kind of give you a little orientation of this. Here's our rail, here's our sensor that's up in the front. Fuel line number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6. Actually, yeah. Back here is the return line on the fuel that comes down from the, or towards, I should say, towards the fuel filter module. Here's your 2 lines that go to the high pressure pump, and yes, you're going to need to replace those. This is what comes included. It does come with a little seal kit, and that is about it. There isn't much else that comes included with it. Okay, it does have the little check valve there in the back, and as I mentioned, it comes with the sensor. Here is our new, let me flip this over for a second here, guys. There we go. There's our new lines that need to get replaced. There's our original lines. Those you can reuse. I was under the impression, at least when I first started doing this, Detroit did not want you to reuse those lines, but now they're saying otherwise. Let's see here. All right, so you guys can see that. I know that's kind of difficult because of the sun and all. Anyway, we've got everything all cleaned up and ready to go. These I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. I'm just going to try to set up the camera somehow, some way, so I can get you guys a decent shot and go from there, guys. So again, here's our line, or our rail, I should say. I'm just going to place that there carefully. That's the part number, if you can see that there, Apple 472-078-0545. It's got the manufacturer date right on there. Looks like it was built, looks like last year. Jesus, I guess that's what they call new, huh? How am I going to put this here, guys, so I get you the best view possible? Let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I got a bit of an allergy or cold coming in. That's always fun. Let's get this shit out of the way. We're gonna come in from this angle and get that mounted up in there, guys. You know what, let me put some shade, man. Make it a lot easier to see this. Be right back. Alrighty guys, we are back. So I got the camera set up as best as possible. I am gonna use a little bit of the Loctite, the thread locker, sealer, whatever the hell you guys wanna call it. And that's gonna be specifically for these brackets that are gonna be mounted up here. There's 3 points of contact. 1, 2, and 3 over at the rear or on the back side. Yeah, that's pretty much that, man. So without further ado or to do, now these are the brackets that are going to hold it in place. They do have an arrow points up, self-explanatory. Okay, this one that's got this little extra tab, that's for the fuel lines, the high pressure lines that come from the pump up to the rail, because that's what's going to hold there with the bracket that comes with it, that little kit. It's got to be back here. Okay, can't miss it. I hope that camera's going to show that there. I've got my 3 little support bridges. I've got my bolts over here, and I do have a little bit of Loctite. So what I'm going to do really quick is just kind of prepare these. You don't need too much. You probably don't even need to use it, to be honest with you, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just a little bit on there, and I'm going to repeat the process on all my bolts, have everything kind of ready at the standby, and it's going to show you kind of the way I do it. It's not the only way to do it, but that's just kind of how I do it and how I've kind of had some pretty good success. Guys, I don't recommend using any power tools here, okay? No power tools. Just strictly hand tools, because it is going to have to get torqued down. I will find out what the torque setting is. I do need to kind of go back to my book and refer to that, because I don't know off the top of my head. It's probably like 10 foot-pounds or maybe even less than that. Again, don't overdo it. Last thing you want to do is overdo it, strip it, and it just will not be fun, man. Not fun for you or anybody for that matter. So keep that in mind. Here we go. Man, this. There we go. So what I like to do, guys, is just simply present it. Okay, this is probably going to have to be at the 12 o'clock position over here. You can see it's, there we go, it's going to kind of shimmer in there. Now what I like to do is just, if you want to do it in the center, start there. It's probably going to be right between the two of them, I'm guessing. If you're not too sure, guys, how it's going to go, just leave it a little loose. Okay, actually here, let's start there. Now there is a sensor right here for the intake. You may have to remove that so you can get to that additional bolt that's there. And I like to run them in with my fingers, guys. Again, don't use any power tools. You don't need it. just need your simple hand tools, and that's pretty much it. This one feels a little tighter on the top. It could be some dirt that's stuck on those threads. Now, I did remove the valve cover. Actually, Tony helped me out, and he removed the valve cover, and that's just so we can get a nice sight when we're installing the fuel lines. You don't have to, but I figured since we had a little bit of downtime, we can take it out. It's not going to hurt any. We're going to do the same thing for the rear. Now, again, I like to leave this a little loose because I still have to play with it a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just kind of get the lines going first. I do need to put the seals, so we have brand new seals that come with that kit. All right, let me go grab my my little 10mm socket, a little ratchet. We're gonna run this thing down by hand, and we'll go from there, guys. GoPro, stop recording. Alrighty, guys, we're back. So I got a quick little 10mm little ratchet, and again, I'm just gonna kind of run this down. You're gonna feel, obviously, if the threads are crossed. That's kind of why I don't want you to use any power tools, but hey, whatever works for you guys. I'm gonna leave it a little loose, and that way, again, I'm gonna have to move the rail, either clock it, you know, north and south, or a little east and west, depending on what's needed. Don't forget, guys, I will get you guys the torque specs. All right, same thing for the bottom. All right, let's do the same thing for the rear, which is going to be the last 2 points of contact. All right, almost. All right, and there we go. So, got that all squared away. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my seals installed. And again, it does come with the seals. This is the flat side. Flat side is going to go towards the actual cam housing. This side is going to come outside. They call it the top side. Doesn't matter if the top is at the bottom end or the top is literally at the top end. Same shit, doesn't really matter. I do like to use a little bit of the gasket eliminate. You don't have to, but I just kind of like to do it a little bit so it makes a nice little sticky surface. Put that in there, and then I'm going to start feeding the first line in and go on from there. The idea is just to kind of clock it, so if you need to go up, you need to go down, okay? You might need to pull it back depending on what's going on, because again, back here you have this fuel line. It's got a banjo bolt that goes through it, so that's got to get clocked through properly as well, so keep that in mind. That's it. So let me grab some things. I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, guys, we are back. So, man, these allergies are really killing me today. Jesus. Cold, whatever it is. Anyway, work's got to get done, right? Just grab a little bit like that, maybe even less than that. And I just simply like to apply it just a little bit there. Don't go too crazy. I think I went a little overboard on that one. Make sure you clean that out a little bit, okay? That's going to get installed in number 1. Again, doesn't really matter. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, we're going to get that going there. And there we go. So again, top facing towards you or towards the outside. And I'm going to put the top right there at the bottom, or the 12 o'clock position. I don't know if the camera's going to show that, guys. If it doesn't, I apologize, but there we go. So I've got the first seal in. I'm going to get this next one here, and I like to use something like this. Let's see if the camera's going to show it. Oops, just dropped one. Alrighty, repeat the process here. I just like to run them snug. I don't like to do it too tight because I like a little bit of play when I'm putting in the fuel line. Makes it, in my opinion, a lot easier when I'm kind of clocking it or moving it around a little bit, depending on what you need to do. There we go, same shit. Okay. All right, we're gonna repeat the same thing all the way down the line, guys. So keep it simple. The one you're gonna struggle on probably the most is gonna be the last one, the number 6. Or in my case, probably even this one, shit. All right, there we go. There we go, just run those in. Now these, you don't have to put any Loctite. I mean, you probably could if you wanted to, but I don't. Jesus Christ, Butterfingers today. All right, so you guys get the general idea, right? You're gonna go ahead and install it in the number 1, the number 2, and kind of just work your way down the line. What I wanna do right now is just to kind of show you guys how I do it. I'm gonna install the number 1, and that's gonna help me hold this into position, and then I'm gonna work on number 2, number 3, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna torque this down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and torque my fuel lines down, install the high pressure lines from the pump on up, and then that's pretty much it. I do recommend, once you put this all together, that you go ahead and prime the fuel system, okay? Make sure you get that nice fuel pressure going in. That'll help you verify, number 1, you don't have any leaks. Number 2, the truck starts, and let it run for a while. You're not gonna, nothing will happen if you let it run, but you guys get the general idea. So I'm gonna work my way down number 3, 4, 5, all the way. I'll get that fuel line in, and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so we got everything lined up. I got the seals installed. Again, I like to do just a little loose, that way I've got a little bit of wiggle room in case I need to go ahead and move this around. This again goes to the center. It's going to be plugged right here, but right now at the moment it is disconnected. I did put the banjo bolt at the rear, and that's just kind of helped me hold the position. Let's take this off right now. I don't need that anymore. And let's go ahead and get this new fuel line in, or I'm sorry, the existing fuel line in. Let's see if I can, so just to give you a general idea, there we go. That's what I want to do. So for illustration purposes, guys and gals, there we go. So we got that in there. What I'm going to do with the outside fuel line is just run it in with my fingers. Here, you're going to have to push forward and turn, and I hope the camera's going to show that there. It should start grabbing the line. And then again, what I like to do is grab your 19 or your 3/4. I like using this one here, and then just kind of push and turn. That'll help get the line, make sure it's in. Now you can run it down snug. You still need to torque this, and this is going to be at 30 foot-pounds, okay? 30 foot-pounds, both of these, all the way across the board. Right now what I simply want to do is just simply run it until it stops, and then I'm going to proceed with the number 2, the number 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down, and then the last thing is going to be the fuel lines, again, that come up to the common rail. Let's see here. Okay, ¿quieres pasarme el número 2, chavo? All right, guys, so do the same thing here. You're gonna just run it snug, finger tight already, and then you're just gonna give it a little something. Again, we're still gonna torque it down at the end, but I'm gonna leave it there. That way I can go ahead and get everything lined up. At this point, really nothing should move because I have it secure here in the front, and then I have it secure there at the banjo bolt. So we're gonna do the same thing, and we're gonna go ahead and install that on the number 2. So, sorry guys, I'm trying to fight here with the harness that's in the way. All right, Shovel, ready? Thank you, sir. Oops. Hold on. There we go. All right, see that? You can line it up here. And you want to make sure you're going to line up right down there. So And that's why I kind of removed the valve cover, because sometimes it's a little bit easier when you get it all out of the way. So an extra, I don't know, a couple minutes, and that's pretty much that. So again, just run the outside ones snug. Once you feel comfortable with that has made it properly, it shouldn't have an issue, because again, you didn't remove the injector or nothing. So we're just going to go ahead and run the same thing snug all the way down, guys. Now I'm not going to show you the whole process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 is definitely where you're going to struggle the most, because again, you're going to have the fuel line which swings around here, and then you still have to tighten the seals. Seals are not tightened yet, so I want to make sure I do that at the very end. And again, keep in mind, those are definitely not 30 foot-pounds. You will strip the heck out of that. It's just once it reaches its point, you're probably going to give a little something extra. I think it's like 7 or 5 foot-pounds, 5 or 7 foot-pounds. It's very little. And that's pretty much that. So that's there. All right, all done. So I'm going to repeat the same thing all the way through number 3, number 4, 5, and then the 6. We'll get the fuel lines in. We'll cover this whole thing up. I'm going to prime the system, fire it up, make sure there's no leaks, and then the customer's ready to come pick this up. So I'm going to stop recording right now. I'm going to try to show you as best we can with the fuel lines, but there is not a lot of room in here to actually record. I'm going to try to set that camera up. If not, I'll just kind of show you guys the end result. And again, I do want to show you guys what the torque setting is on that. So I'll be back. Let's get. Alrighty, guys. As promised, here is the book and what the manual says. So EPA 07, EPA 10, GHG 14, GHG 17, very, very similar. This is exactly what the book says, and I'm going to show you that right here. So when you're installation of the fuel rail, okay, 2 systems. There we go. The torque, the fuel rail clamps, bolts, 10 Newton meters or 7 foot-pounds. Okay, there you go. Fuel lines, 30 foot-pounds, and that's pretty much it. So just keep in mind, again, when you are tightening this bad boy down, 7 foot-pounds. See that right there? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up, and we're gonna get those high pressure lines installed right now. Tony's finishing up a few little things here and there, and then we have to just install the number 6 line back there, which really takes the longest. We'll get the high pressure lines, like I said, and we are all set. So let me get the torque, and we'll come back to that right now in a second. Alrighty, guys, here is the end result. We're pressurizing the fuel system because again, we emptied out the lines when we replaced these. New common rail, these are going to be empty, so we definitely want to go ahead and pressurize the fuel system. So we got nice clean diesel going in. Just let it run a little bit. It should fire right up. We shouldn't have any problems. I like pressurizing it, number 1, because if you have any leaks, you should generally find them right away. Okay, you're going to look at the base of where the lines meet the fuel pump, the top. As long as you don't have any leaks there, you should be fine. There should be nothing else to do. There's nothing that you're going to have to program. You may have to reset the little counter because of the pressure up on the rail there, but all in all, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up, and we should be able to go from there. I still got a little light over here, but I'll plug in and see what the hell that's about. Ready? Yeah. All right, guys, here goes. All right, guys, just go ahead and let it run. I don't like to give it any gas, any throttle like that. Just go ahead. Sorry, it cut out. Unfortunately, I stopped recording, but it went ahead and fired up. This is obvious because we have a transmission air supply low, may not shift because of course you've got to have air. I'm gonna plug in just to kind of see what the codes are, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. The truck has 494,000 miles on it. So that's it, very simple video. I hope this helps some of you guys out. If you have any questions, as always, hit me up. I'll help as best you can. Just a quick short video on how to replace the common rail when you have a problem. Guys, give it a like, thumbs up. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.